Hey, what up y'all, it's me your boy Lil D coming at ya from the den with another nursing video. And in today's video we're going to be talking about everything you need to know about being on call as a nurse. But before we get into the video, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe. I post nursing related videos 2 times a week here on this channel, so if there's something you want to see me do a video on that's nursing related, nursing pop cultures, leave it in the comments down below. Another thing I want to share with you is that I opened an Etsy account, so that will also be linked down below, where I'll be selling Nurse Little D stickers. So they're pretty cute. This is what they look like, but yeah, go check it out. Being on call as a nurse. Now, when I first started working in the hospital, this is something that I do nothing about, because prior to working in the hospital, I worked at Subway, Lowe's, Wendy's, and you were never put on call working at these places. But working in the hospital, this is something that can happen quite often. The first thing I want to talk to you about is requesting first cancel. And what does that mean? Well, working in the hospital, there is no chance that they want to leave any opportunity for them not to have enough staff. So you'll have your core staff, you'll have your float pool staff, and even at times, usually here in Arizona, we have our travelers who they sign on contract for maybe 10 to 13 weeks. This way there is no possible chance that the hospital is going to be short and they have enough nurses whenever they need it. Well, with having so much staff, it's not uncommon that you'll be put on standby or even canceled. And on my unit, on all the units, you have the opportunity to request first cancel. For example, let's say that I'm working today and tomorrow I want to be first cancel. So when my charge nurse talks to staffing, they'll let them know that I put in for first cancel, and if there are float pool nurses that were going to be on standby, I would now be on standby. And in the best case scenario, I would be the first one to be canceled. Now, this is nice if you need a day off, but this is not guaranteeing that you have the day off. This is just saying that you're going to be the last person that they call in if the hospital needs help. And there are times that I request first cancel and I will be called in around 11 or 12 o'clock. How does the pay work while you're on standby? Well, different hospitals and facilities have different policies that they follow. For the hospital that I work at, they do have standby pay. Now, standby pay is only $2 an hour, which is kind of horrible. And I actually never take this pay, because to make up for the standby pay, they let us use our own PTO. Now, if you're trying to save your PTO, some people will take the $2 per hour, but it really does affect your check. And generally, I generate maybe around 8 hours a paycheck of PTO, so I end up just taking my PTO and applying it. When I do take my PTO to cover up the hours, I do not get the additional $2 an hour though. This gets canceled. Now, this works fine for day shift, but it's when you go to night shift, if you take that PTO per hour, you do not get your night differential or your weekend differential. You just get your base pay per hour. So if you're working nights, your paycheck still might be a little bit less if you were requesting first cancel or if you were put on standby all day. If for some reason you need the day off, I don't recommend requesting first cancel, because this does not guarantee that you'll get that day off, and there is a chance that you could be called in the middle of the day. Now, what happens if you don't show up while you're on call as a nurse? Well, at my hospital, if you don't answer the phone and you don't go in when you're on standby as a nurse, this calls as a no-call, no-show, and it actually goes against you. So you have to have your phone by you at all times and be ready to go in when they ask you to go in. They will generally be looking at this in advance, the staffing department. So if they need you by 10 o'clock, they should call you an hour before. That way you have the time to get ready and to get to the hospital. So they'll usually call you at 9 o'clock. Now, personally, I do not like being on standby at all, because even though you're on standby and there is the possibility that you'll be canceled, most likely you can go the whole day and they won't call you and tell you that you're canceled unless they have so much staff. But generally they'll just keep you on standby all day. And the latest that I've seen people go in is probably 3 or 4 o'clock, which is crazy, because then you're only at work for 3 or 4 hours. compared to your 12 hours, and it's really just kind of a bump in your day. So when you're on standby, there's really no time to rest. You have to be ready all day long. Have your scrubs, have eaten, be ready to go into work when they call you, because it could count against you if you don't. I think I've covered everything there is about being on call as a nurse or being on standby as a nurse. This can happen to pretty much any of the staff in the hospital. It happens to nursing assistants, it happens to nurses, it happens to physical therapists. Sometimes they could be put on standby or just be canceled. So it can really happen to anybody in the hospital depending on how many patients there are at the time. That is about it for this video. Make sure you check out one of my other nursing related videos right here. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I post nursing related videos 2 times a week here on this channel, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.